welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you which custom settings I use when photographing wildlife with the Canon 7D Mark II. With that being said, let's get straight into the first tip. So the first tip I've got is one that's pretty obvious and you've probably already done it. However, I think it is important for wildlife photography, and that is to remove that beeping noise that you get whenever the camera focuses on a subject. Alright, so as you can tell, I have actually got the beep enabled at the moment on my camera, so you can probably hear it. Every time it focuses, it makes that beep, and that could be enough to put an animal off. So what we want to do is go into the menu and come to this first tab here. You press the Q to get through. Come to the beep, which is the third one down, and simply just press disable. Now whenever I focus, so I'm half pressing the shutter, you cannot hear any beep, and so no animals are going to be disturbed by that noise. Okay, so this next tip is probably not as obvious as the last one, and some of you may have not thought about doing this, but sometimes you're out there and you're trying to photograph wildlife and you're walking along and all of a sudden a bird jumps out or a fox jumps out and you really want to get a photo of it. So you go to get your camera ready, you try to focus, you try to get a photo, but it just doesn't work because the camera is taking too long to focus and you just can't get that shot off. And this has happened to me many a times in the field where the camera just won't stop hunting for focus, and it doesn't matter how long you wait, it just doesn't focus in time, and by the time it has focused, the animal's long gone. So, this is very frustrating. So what I'm about to show you is going to basically eradicate that problem, because what it does is prioritizes the shutter release on your first shot, and for every shot after that, it will prioritize focus. So, say for example, the fox did jump out, and then you go to get a photo of it, it's going to prioritize shutter release, so it saves as much time as possible, and you're going to be able to get that photograph. And then if you want a sharper images after that, you get them. So it's sort of best of both worlds type thing. Okay, so to do that, you'll want to click on the menu button on the camera, then use the Q button to get through the tabs at the top, go to AF, then use the joystick to move along to the second tab along, and what you want to do is for your first image when you're in servo mode is you want to move, so yours will probably be set up in the middle there, you want to move that from the middle to release, so then you get that, and the second one you will be in the middle and move that over to focus, and that's it, you're now ready to go. Okay, so the next tip is all about being able to use AI servo and one shot in the same setting without having to go into the camera and change between the modes, and obviously you're going to find this really helpful when you are photographing birds in flight and then all of a sudden an animal comes out, like a bird comes out onto a branch and it's perched there nicely and you want to get a focus on it and recompose the shot, and yeah, so it saves you time. So let me show you that. Okay, so to do that, if you go into the menu, then we use the Q button again to cycle all the way along to the yellow tab, and then use the joystick to go across to the third tab within that. Come down to custom controls here at the bottom, select that, and then in order to change that setting, you want to come to the AF on function, which is here, select that, and then select AF off. Okay. So essentially what that does is, when you are in AI servo mode, which we are currently, the camera will continuously focus on a moving subject. So if you half press the shutter, it's going to just keep changing its focus. But now with that custom setting, if you're half pressing the shutter and then you also press the AF on button, it's now locking the focus, and so then you can recompose the camera and the focus does not change. And so it locks it into place. And so that's essentially giving it that, instead of having to go into the settings and change AI servo to one shot, you're now able to just simply press AF on, hold that down, and you are in one shot mode. Release, and you're back to AI servo.
Alright, so I've actually got another tip for you, and this involves the autofocus area select. So for me personally, when I'm photographing wildlife, I either want to be focusing on still subjects or moving subjects, and sometimes those still subjects, they're on a field or they're in long grass, and so I want to be focusing on a exact point. So I want to focus through the grass and obviously get that focus on the eye of the animal. So with the 7D Mark II, we actually have 7 AF select points to pick from, and you'll probably find that you won't use all of these, and you'll be going into the settings and going through all of them to get to the one that you want, and that takes time. So in order to save you time in the field, because time is precious and the animal could be doing something right in front of you whilst you're trying to change your settings, so we need to cut down the options and reduce the time taken to change your settings. So for me personally, you can obviously adapt it to your own preference as to how you photograph wildlife. But for me personally, like I said, I want those 3 points, and they're the only 3 I want. So all the others I'm going to remove, and then that will help me in the future and save me lots of time. So I will now show you how to do that.
Alright, so if you press the top right hand button, you'll be able to see all of the AF point selection modes that you currently have on your camera if you haven't customized the settings. And yeah, so you can see this is how long it takes to cycle through all of them, and it does take quite a long time. So in order to reduce the amount that you have there, if you come back to menu and then use the Q button to go along the tabs at the top and come to AF, use the joystick and go along to the 4th tab. Once you're at the 4th tab, come down to this section here, select AF area, click on that, and then we can cycle through here and just deselect the modes that you don't actually need to use. So for me, I want this mode, so this is half a point. I want that so that I can focus through grass, as I was saying earlier. The single point is one that's a default, so we need that stays on there anyway, and I use that as my standard, sort of my standard one. And then this one here with the expand AF, I'll use that quite a lot for birds in flight, but also sometimes when there isn't a cluttered background, I will use this one here that I've currently selected for birds in flight. So they're the 4 that I would like, and these ones here I just don't use ever, so I'm going to deselect them, and then we're going to come down and press OK. And now if we press the top right button again, we come out there, press the top right button, and you'll now see that I have only got those 4 to cycle through, and that's much quicker than it was previously. Another quick sort of like tip for you: if you are in here and you cycle through where you want your focus to be, say you want to focus here, and then you want to get back to the middle, that takes quite a long time. So if you're all the way over here and you just press down in the middle, it takes you straight back to the center point. So again, that's another time-saving feature for you.
So they are my 3 top tips for custom settings in the 7D Mark II for wildlife photography. So I hope these tips have helped you in some way, especially with your wildlife photography. If they have helped you, please let me know in the comments down below, because I would really like to know about that. And if you want more videos like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified. Aside from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.